I'm Chris Smith with Delta Media Group and Real Estate Marketing and Technology Magazine. Today I'm talking with David Sharkey, the president of Progressive Urban Real Estate based out of Cleveland, Ohio. Thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, I always like to start at the beginning, so let's do just that. What is the history behind Progressive Urban Real Estate? How and when was it founded?
Progressive Urban was founded in 1986. It was founded to promote the city of Cleveland, some of the inner city neighborhoods that had been kind of forgotten by the rest of the real estate world. We saw a lot of value in these neighborhoods, even though if you were driving through them, you might say, oh, this is not very nice, and they kind of look maybe devastated. But we saw the value. There were people living down here, artists. Obviously, you had people that had lived in the neighborhood for generations lived down here. But other things started falling apart. We saw the value. We thought people would want to move here. And so we promoted, we promoted the city.
And how has the agency evolved since then?
We've always kept the focus of being an urban brokerage and promoting the city of Cleveland. And, over time, things have changed in the sense that our buyers have changed. You used to only have people, if you're not familiar with Cleveland, you may not understand, but some of the buyers would come from inner suburbs like Lakewood or Cleveland Heights, places like that. As the neighborhoods have evolved and changed and improved, we get buyers from all over the place. And it's, there isn't one place they come from. They come from all over the place. We get young people, we get empty nesters. You don't have a lot of families moving into the neighborhoods, but what they are doing is they're staying once they have a family. And these are things that are new to some of these neighborhoods. Obviously, there's neighborhoods in the city that have always had, have always functioned for families. But some of the more inner city neighborhoods that were pretty bad shape, these are new things.
Well, as you say, since its inception, Progressive Urban has advocated for urban living and revitalization. You've even lobbied to recognize lower-income residents and acknowledge the rehabilitation potential of those older homes in the city. What makes that so important to the team at Progressive Urban?
I think history is important. And when you drive through these neighborhoods, you see the historical homes, you see the historical buildings, the way the neighborhoods function. You've got retail on the sidewalk, you've got people walking up and down the street. And if anyone's familiar with Cleveland and the neighborhoods of Tremont, Ohio City, Detroit Shoreway, and even University Circle, you have a lot of action on the street. You've got people draw other people, and it's contagious. And people go and like, oh, there's this energy here, and they want to be part of it. With all new construction or, ripping everything down, like that just doesn't work. You need that historical character to provide that feeling that you're someplace special. And I think that's why it's important.
You feel like your advocacy has created change in the greater Cleveland community?
Absolutely. When we started, as we are talking about fixing up old homes, but there's also a lot of vacant lots. So we advocated for new construction that fit in with the fabric that's down here. So not building, something you'd see in a modern suburb today, but a house that's going to fit on a traditional lot in these neighborhoods. And we're talking lots that could be 25-foot wide, 33-foot wide, something like that. The code in the city of Cleveland was adjusted for post-World War II construction and neighborhoods with a lot more land. So we advocated for building on the existing lots in the city, in these inner city neighborhoods, so that when you're walking down the street or driving down the street, the houses have the same proportion to what's next door. Because if you start building stuff that's out of proportion to the existing housing stock, that historical housing stock starts to look out of place, and things don't match up, and it gives kind of a weird feeling. When you keep things in a similar size, you get that continuity and things blend in better.
So aside from the advocacy, are there other ways that you give back to the community?
Absolutely. A number of us here are on boards down at the city of Cleveland, involved in local nonprofit groups. Cleveland has a lot of community development corporations, and those are nonprofits that work in the neighborhoods. we have always had a strong connection with the nonprofit sector, to work with them, to help them in their efforts to help the neighborhoods, on the housing side, and however we can, to use our expertise to work with them to meet their housing goals in their neighborhoods.
Now, you're part of the Delta Media Group family, and we appreciate that so much. What is one of your favorite things about the partnership between us?
Delta's been great. For a long time, we were just kind of lost, searching for that right partner, and reinventing the wheel. Delta came with real estate knowledge. I mean, they focus on real estate. That's what we needed as a real estate brokerage, the focus on real estate, get our listings out there, easily with the right information, but yet the flexibility is what I love, is that we can create our own web pages within our web page, and I can do it myself. I can have somebody else do it to showcase, maybe a new construction project, or we showcase neighborhoods, and we are constantly adding and subtracting things all the time. We can do that ourselves. It's not a big deal. Delta makes it easy to make adjustments to the site. Now, if you want to do a big adjustment, or you want to pay you guys to do it, you can do it too. But, I like to keep our site up to date and very flexible, and Delta has allowed us to do that.
So there's a lot of different styles of providers out there. Were there any primary factors in your decision to work with us, maybe in the values or the services that you were seeking in a potential partner?
Well, I think, again, that being able to adjust the website the way we want it on time, when, instead of waiting, I think so many companies, like, you put in a request and you have to wait for your site to adjust. Like, I can just, if I need to do it, I can do it right now. And that was very important. But also the lead generation, and CRM, and the having the listings, and Delta works with the multiple listing service, so everyone's listings are imported. Our site's got everyone's listings on it, and that in the search, you can search by map, you can search by zip code, you can search by address, all those things. When you combine them all, Delta had the package that worked the best for us.
Well, you talked about the website and all the different features that are on it. Is there a favorite feature that you have on it from a user standpoint?
Well, I think that the up-to-date for our new construction projects, and we can go in and have up-to-date information that has floor plans, that has specifications, all that stuff, and it's right there, and you can pull it up. And we generally have more information out there than anybody else has for their projects. And again, if things change, we can quickly change. The customer always has the up-to-date information on the web when they need it. And also, when somebody inquires, you can take that link, send it out. All the information they're looking for is right there.
So I want to talk marketing for just a minute. Are there any tools inside DeltaNet that your agents find the most useful for marketing or generating new leads?
I think keeping up with past customers, or customers, maybe you get somebody in from the website, or not the website, from the open house, or however you get your clients, they come in, you can get them in the system, and then you can communicate, and you don't have to bug them. You can send out a newsletter that you create. You can just do a trickle campaign. It sends out holiday email or whatever, not bugging them, but staying in contact. And I think that's the most important thing.
Well, growth is vital in our industry. What are some of the tools that you think every agent has to have if they want to grow their real estate business?
Keeping in touch with past clients, potential clients, and your network. Your network, especially if you're a new agent, like, where are you going to get your leads from? You cannot depend on anybody but yourself. If you get anything from your broker and all that, that's great, and that's awesome. But you've got to be able to tap into your network and let them know you are an agent. And how are you going to do that? Are you going to call everybody? Probably not. There are some people you could call. There's some people you're going to meet at holiday gatherings. But what you need to do is set up, go through your database in kind of a non-intrusive way to get people to know what you're doing. And I think, drip campaigns, things like that, that won't bother people. I'm not a big person in, like, getting in people's faces and constantly bugging them. I'm kind of low profile when it comes to that. But, a good drip campaign that doesn't make you look like you're, just jonesing for business, that but you got to let people know you're out there. It's a balancing act.
It's a fine line, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Right? So, in what ways do you support your agent's use of technology? Do you have training that you conduct at the brokerage, or is there some other form?
Yeah, I do. I do one-on-one training. So, I mean, with everyone, some people, you've got your early adapters. People are just, they just want technology and they just eat it up and they can't wait to get into it and do different things. But and then you've got it, then you have every other person. You've got the person that just is scared of it, and then you've got the people in the middle. So your person that's scared probably isn't going to do much, but the people in the middle, I like to work with one-on-one to develop their skills a little bit better, dig deeper into the system, and figure out what we can do to, get them a place where they're comfortable with the marketing tools.
Well, technology is changing at a rapid pace, as you know, and the theme for this issue of Real Estate Marketing and Technology magazine is all about AI. Have you tried using any of the AI platforms out there like ChatGPT? And if you have, what are your thoughts on that?
We have not. And so I'm kind of waiting for this, the AI thing is like kind of come at us like a freight train. And, with real estate, we are very, there's a lot of things we can't do and we can't say, and we have to be very careful. And we are highly regulated. So some of that makes me a little nervous, just kind of like setting loose AI and in marketing and things like that. So I'm kind of taking a wait and see approach. Um, I like to like say with my listings, and I've seen this out there. A client of mine sent me this listing. He's like, "Oh, look at this! Look at this description on this listing." And I read through it. I'm like, "Oh, this is Chat GPT. This is not written by a person." And it was really obvious. Now, for me personally, I can't do that. It's got to be for me. And I spend a lot of time on that. And I think it's really important. So, how that works into AI over time, I don't know. So that's I'm taking a wait and see. I'm open to technology for sure. So if there's ways that it's going to help, then I'm all for it. But I am a little worried about it because of regulation and it saying maybe some things that you're not supposed to say in real estate.
Yeah, well, as you say, there's a lot you can and can't do with the industry, so you have to be very careful. And I think a lot of the different iterations of it don't have guardrails on it right now, so we have to be very careful
Right.
with how we use it. That being said, are you aware that there's new AI integration coming to DeltaNet that's going to actually help with that and help with content creation and client communication? Have you heard about that?
I've seen some emails come over from you guys, so but I haven't really dug into it.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to putting that out there and letting everybody take a look at it. So I'd love to get your feedback once that happens.
Sure.
That said, what are some of your goals for the future of Progressive Urban? Do you have any new initiatives that are rolling out soon or any plans that you want to share with us?
Well, I like a slow growth. I'm a very involved president and broker. So, if an agent's got a problem, they're calling me and I want them to call me. I don't want anybody to be lost. So I like to pick up a few agents as we go along. I especially like working with new agents, so that they get training from me from the very start. So, and kind of meet our ethical, goals as a company. The other thing I think we're doing is like we are in a unique position physically. We're on Detroit Avenue in the Ohio City neighborhood. We overlook the lake. There's a lot of growth around us. For years and years, our building was the nicest building on the street. Things have changed. So now, after we moved here in 1999, thinking about doing some, exterior fix up on the building and kind of taking it up, another notch as the neighborhood has improved. I think it's time for us to kind of take a look at our physical presence and maybe improve that a little bit.
So if someone out there is watching and has some questions about the area or thinking about moving there or just want to see a new home, what's the best way to contact you?
The best way I think is through our website, through our Delta website, www.progressiveurban.com. And you can see our agents, see our projects, see our listings. And I think that's the best way to get hold of us.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with me today. I really do appreciate it. And best of luck to you in the future. We will definitely talk again soon and catch up and see how things have been going.
Great. Thank you very much.